Hey guys, you got Hippy Lady here. You got really Lady Hippy at the bar. As everyone knows who watches me, thank you guys. I appreciate all of you. There's going to be at least one cat in the frame, and that would be my Pixie. She had a deep cut her eye, which was festering, and she was trapped under one of the shelves in my greenhouse. And I lifted the shelf, and she just stepped in my hand. And I thought, well, I'll treat her and get her well and put her outside. Well, you can't do that. I mean, people do that, but I can't do that because they've already bonded with you. And she was that young. And so my poor suffering husband does a lot of work for these animals. Amen. Well, let's see what we want to talk about today. This is for entertainment purposes only. Yes, you bet your ass I'm going to be here all week. As you may know, if you know me, I'm all head up about something. Again, there's always something for me to be. I fidget when I get up here too. I don't know why that is. Mm. Forgive me. It's been one of those mornings. I have to go to Social Security in the morning. It turns out I've gotten a letter telling me they were going to charge me 174 a month for parts A and B on Medicaid, which is hospital and medication. I did not apply for that. If I wanted to spend $174 a month, I wouldn't be going to the VA and using my benefits. They are paying them every month. But apparently, somebody in Chicago is dunning me $174 a month for these services that I don't use, didn't ask for, didn't sign up for. And my local office doesn't have a clue on. They said somehow they figure it's coming out of Chicago, Illinois, and they don't know why. I don't either because I haven't lived in Illinois since I was 17 and enlisted. So got me. So they want me to come in the morning and see if they can straighten this stupidity out. Personally, if they keep taking the money out, then there's no point in them sending it because they're going to spend more for the stamp. And it's that bad. It's that bad. Yeah. On top of that, they're not supposed to take anything out of a retirement that's left the person with less than 750 a month. Well, they sock that sucker right out of the ballpark. All kinds of things are suddenly coming out. Don't know why. Don't know why. I have no idea why. And I don't care how. And I'm fairly sick. I take 13 different medications a day. 13's a bad number. I know. I'm trying to get off the one. Heart, blood pressure, all the junk you got. Nothing, no happy pills. So put it that way. Of course, I would not say no at this point. So yeah, I don't use $174 a month. Certainly not through the VA because I don't go, but every 6 months, especially since the pandemic, and it can be done at home as long as nothing has changed. You can do a FaceTime or whatever you can do, and yet they don't know why Chicago's doing this. I don't flipping know why Chicago's doing this. The other question I had, and I hope that some of my viewers will get back to me on this, when they sent me this letter yesterday to do this is going to occur in 5 days because they assumed the letter would arrive 5 days after the mailing date. Well, it didn't. It arrived 11 days after they sent it. Do they not know the post office? Did it come from Chicago? It's signed off by my local office, so I don't freaking know because they say they don't have nothing on it. Yeah. The other question, like I said, that I had, and we've all paid for Medicaid and Medicare out of our checks, along with Social Security and taxes, yada, yada. Every time we got a check, we paid Medicaid and Medicare. So why are they taking it out of Social Security to begin with? Even if I wanted it, even if I applied for it, why the hell would it be coming out of the Social Security account? And this is what my husband has. They did the same thing to him a couple of years back when he came off disability, and he's whittled it down to $100 a month. This man does not use $100 a year on medical fees or hospital fees or prescription fees. That man will cut his arm open and stick it in gas. I mean, he doesn't do that. And he did fight the stage 4 cancer. He beat it, and that was many years ago when he was on disability, and he still works. But yet, instead of this being taken care of out of his Social Security that he paid all his life, it's taken out of the Social Security account that he paid for all his life, not Medicare or Medicaid funds. So where the hell do those funds go, people? If there's somebody out there, and I know y'all are out there that this has happened to, we need to speak up. We need to stand up and say, not the hell for me. We did not do this. You took my money for Medicaid and Medicare. Where the hell are you treating this for? Where the hell? I mean, it's bad enough that what you've paid for 50 years of your life into this account, literally. Since I was 13, they took the taxes and everything out of my check. Since I was 13. So over 50 years, I have paid into Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security. Well, they first off told me when I could have it. I love that part. Then they told me how much I could freaking get. And then they went about taking all that shit back. So I know this isn't just me. And I'd like to know why the hell all of us are standing back saying, it's okay. We just paid you guys for Medicaid and Medicare. Do take that out of the little bit of Social Security that you decided I can have out of the funds I paid for 50 odd years. Enough. Now, I don't know how you can sue the government, but I'm damn sure Skippy going to try to find out. Now, if there's anybody out there with some backbone, do please contact me. I don't care where you live. I don't care what state you live in. I don't care if you're German. Come see me. Come talk to me. Let's find out what the hell. And how many of us are doing this is outright theft. It's beyond outright theft. It's the grand larceny at this point. They've taken hundreds of thousands of dollars for each of those accounts throughout our lifetimes. And in my case, over 50 years. And my husband, over 70 years almost. I mean, really over 60, but still. And none of it, including my husband, oh no, we can't change that. And look, it's not as much now because I agree to this and this. This young man does not use any of those funds. Yet he pays every month out of his Social Security retirement. Now, none of his Medicaid or Medicare that he paid over a 60-year period, that's not done. And now they're coming after me. And I'm not going to stand back and say, oh, it's okay. I don't mind. You can steal some more from me. Do keep all that Medicare and Medicaid you charged me for and took from my check for over 50 years. You keep that shit and come after the little bit I get that you allowed me to have after the monies that I put in for my entire life. No. No. I don't agree with it, and I will be there in person in the morning. She asked me to come in. I'll be happy to come in. I know that's not these clerks' fault. I don't know whose fault it is, but I intend to find out federally what the hell is going on here and why they're doing this to every blooming citizen, and nobody is standing up and saying, you can't do that. You've already taken monies, and you decided how much I could get out of what I paid in. But you certainly shouldn't be condemning me for Medicaid and Medicare out of Social Security because I paid Medicaid and Medicare. And Social Security. They're three different accounts, for God's sakes. At least it was when they were taking the flipping money. Now, suddenly, it's you got to come out of one account that you paid for your entire life, and they're going to try to tell you how much you get. They don't try to. They tell you how much you're going to get, when you're going to get it, and how much they're going to take back. Not to mention tax again. Yes, you can tell my sweet bippies I'm PO'd. If they was right here in front of me, whoever the hell did this, they need to run. They need to just run as fast as they can, as far as they can before I freaking find them. It's going to be a much different ballgame once I find out who did this. And I want to know, I really think that there's a lot of us out there that this has happened to. You got to step up. You can't just lay back and let them do it some more. They've done it our whole lives. At what point do we go, screw you? You can't steal from me anymore. 2 death taxes? Now, 2 death taxes. You're dead. And they're going to not, they don't tax you just once because you died. They're going to tax your ass twice because you dead. Who the hell voted for that? Nobody. So stand up, stand together, or they're going to continue to rip you running blind. I mean, they're going to fuck you running, people. And they are, they have been, and they will continue to do so as they are now. Unless we stand up and say, screw you, you bitches, you thieving sons of, you can't continue to do this. Now, I don't care if they take this down. I don't care if it takes what's left of my natural lifetime to tell them, every single person I can get to, that this is theft. You can't do it, and you are doing it, and I want you charged with theft. I want you charged with grand theft. You have no right to be sticking your fingers in anything of mine, period. If I want Medicaid and Medicare, I will let you flip and know, and it sure as hell won't be at the rate of $174 a month. I didn't pay that for Blue Cross Blue Shield. Yes, I am coming on. I just can't tell you how much I want to scrap that. They make sure these are all faceless entities that are fucking you running. I would say excuse the French, but I mean every damn word I'm saying right now. They need to come from me. Bring the You just go head on, because I need a damn good fight right now. My husband gives me my little cigars. And for days like this, it's a wonder that I haven't gone through all of them. I see my brother-in-law on Facebook. I see if I can't drop this in. Oh, I didn't have live chat on. I'm sorry, guys. Here we go. We got live chat on now. Do please get in touch with me. Let me know that this is happening to you, everybody that's happening to. That's theft. You've done paid Medicaid and Medicaid all your life, as well as Social Security, as well as your taxes that are now using to house illegal immigrants in hotels. The citizens stood up in Texas and Florida, and they had representatives in the governor's offices, DeSantis and the Texas Governor Abbott. And they stood with their people and they said, "You're not going to do this. You can't do this. You can't take from our people." And these two states have no taxes. I'm in a state that is outrageously taxed. And I was originally born, I can't say I'm from Chicago, but they say I was born in Cook County, Illinois. Actually, it was DeKalb, Illinois. I was adopted. For some reason, my records are quartered sealed until 2060. Now, what the hell is am I Aspire or something? In order to get my clearances, people would come in with suits on and briefcases and tell me, "Did you know you were adopted?" No. Could you tell me all about that? Because I looked into it because of my son. I wanted him to have a background. This was before his blood family found him as well. My blood family found me. That was a real disaster. People, if you're adopted, don't jump your ass out there because they find you and don't go looking for them. You were adopted for a reason. You got a better life. You don't have to deal with those morons. And believe me, I dealt with them for 35 years and I rue every minute of it, every second of it. They're all hypocrites, sons of, yeah, you get my point. Mm-hmm. And I didn't learn nothing anyway. Well, I did. I actually learned something. I learned that the real family or your bloodline will screw you and screw your head up so bad, and they will enjoy doing it. They will plan on how they're doing it, not just one, but 15 or 20. And then they'll pretend that they actually want to be around you for X amount of years. I mean, oh, I love that part. Yeah. You think you have a friend or a family member for 30? No, you don't. You don't have your adopted family. They never did it. My mother used to introduce me and my sister. We were actually real sisters, or bloodline sisters. Oh, that's the girls I adopted. That was how we were introduced, not by our names. Those are the girls I adopted. I had parents for 9 years. That was it. I've lived here longer than I had parents. Longer than I had parents because there was no point in going around. I tried that for a couple of years, flying in and out when I was active duty, coming from Germany for funerals. They didn't give a flat fuck. And yeah, I mean when I said that. So, I mean, I don't care if they're watching or not. They know how I feel. I tell them the same thing. Bring it this time, good friends, because I'm not going to go down without a damn good fight. So you bring your stupid asses up to my face and try that again. Yeah, I'm going to be your buddy. I'm your best friend. Yeah, I'm your sister-in-law, your aunt, your uncle. Yeah, bring it. I again warn any adoptees, do not go looking for your birth family. At least not where you see them. You might get a background. That's okay. You're not going to get screwed over because they will screw your head straight off. And you won't have a head or what was left of a heart by the time you finally get out. And I've been out for 11 years. And I still have a great disdain and hatred for these people for doing something that they had no right, no reason to do to anybody. And then do that. I mean, it's the backstabbing, behind your back shit. Because you're too naive, or I was too naive to figure, okay, these guys doing all this trouble to find me. Oh, they want to be my sister. I'm your brother. To your freaking face. And then you find out after a couple of years what they're saying about you behind your back. And you're like, oh my fucking God. And again, I don't apologize for the language because I mean it. So, again, my advice to all of the adoptees out there, just tread carefully because you are literally on a Damocles sword. And you're walking the edge of that sword, just about to fall down and slice your ass up. Find out the particulars. Don't go looking for them. If they come looking for you, run. And I do mean run. Get in your car and go to Alaska or some shit. Don't deal with those people because it's never going to be right for you. It's always going to come out bad. I've yet to meet an adoptee that ever came out good. Oh, they have the shows where, oh, we found it. Yeah, it's all good when you don't realize what they're saying behind your back. And that can take years to find out because people are that ugly. They will say to your face one thing and fuck your world up behind your back, try to take your kid, do all kinds of shit to you. But they are your relatives and they're so glad they found you. Now, I'm just telling you the truth as it is, folks. You know, put that in your pipe and smoke it. I don't care if you accept it or not. I do. I've lived it. Many people say I should write a book. Oh, shit. I really should in some ways. People say, oh, don't do that because you'll scare other adoptees. Well, they need to be damn scared. They need to be damn good scared. They need to be screwing you running. They need to say, I don't live here. I don't know who you are. And don't call me again. Lose my number. I mean, run. And that's a kindness, what I'm saying to everybody that sees me today. God love y'all. Hit the like, share, dislike. I don't give a shit. Subscribe. I don't make any money from this shit. I get up here because it's what people should be doing. I call it social Woodstock because everybody should understand what the next neighbor is doing when you have this as your medium. You can jump out there and you can reach millions of people if they slow down long enough to check you out. That doesn't mean you have to make money. It just means you need to be conversant and say what is wrong, what is right. And this media gives us that chance. And I don't believe for a second that anybody goes, I'm going to elect that 81-year-old president again because he's done so well for 50 years in D.C. Look how good he's treating me. Yeah, you can't fight the government. Yes, you freaking can. Don't give them any flipping money. What the hell is that anyway? Oh, send us your $5. Screw you. You send me 50. You screwed me running already for 100,000. At least you could do send 50 back. Most people won't see me. Most people, if they do, won't care. They might be 40. They might be 21. They might be 62. But if they're not on a retirement plan from Social Security or whatever, they're not going to understand or care what I'm saying. For those of you who give a shit, for those of you who are going to be in my shoes, or for those who are already in my shoes, run straight to your attorney. And there are laws. By the way, guys, there's another one you can check out before they take it off. The government is never allowed to tax your wages. That was started in World War II by President Roosevelt. It was supposed to end in World War II. Ended. It didn't. It ended Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare. My dad was fit to be tied. Hero, World War II, Pearl Harbor. He hated Roosevelt. His check was hit. Everybody's check at that time was only barely a pittance. They had come back from the war. They took back the jobs. The women's had to stay at home. Women couldn't take the jobs because the men couldn't have a job. So women went home. They paid the men more anyway. But they didn't pay them enough for that. They didn't pay them enough to look at, okay, we're taking a 30-year check before taxes. The lovely part about that is that the year end, when you're taxed, they're going to tax you on what you earn, not what you took home. What you took home was a third less than what you earned because they got that already. They're going to tax that number again. And that's been going on my entire life, 65 years at the very least. I think 75 years would be more close to it. It's time for people to stand up and say, screw you. This isn't a free country any fucking more. If this continues to go on and nobody says anything, then we're all scared little pups. Really? Are you guys too scared to stand up and say, screw you, you can't do this? I hope not. Because if all of you are so scared that you can't go forward and say something, then you're going to be fucked. So you might as well get a steak out and treat yourself to dinner. You don't like what I'm saying? Change the channel. That's the good thing about this as well. But I'm going to continue. I'm going to hope to find the rest of me out there. I'm hoping that not everybody is so cowardly that they're going to take this line down as they have been for some time. And I'm talking to anybody, baby boomers, hippies. How the hell? I don't even care if there is a moniker to put on that shit. Stand up. If you don't want to do that, throw in the comments. Hit the live chat. Entertainment purposes only. Let's find out if there's anybody out there who gives a shit. But the government has screwed them over for their entire lives and then screwed them over running again when they have the end of their lives and have no money anyway. When they tell you this is how much you can get, you earn 5 times that a month, but this is how much you get per month. Oh, yeah, I'll just go, sure, go ahead. While they continue to take that. My husband, like I said, he pays Medicaid and Medicare out of his Social Security account. What the fuck for? Look at your damn checks. You're paying Social Security, you're paying Medicaid, you're paying Medicare. Look at your checks. I don't care if you're 21 or you're 93. Look at your checks because you're going to stand in my shoes someday. If you're 21, you probably won't be able to even get in my shoes because they're never going to give you a penny back, if you ask me. And my grandson is 25, so I'm talking about the same age rate. My son is 45 or will be. He's paying the same thing. He's paying a shitload of taxes and stuff. The more you make, the more you pay. Let's get the rich guy instead of the poor guy. Well, I got news for y'all. Look at your damn paychecks. They screwed the poor guy but twice as much as they ever touched a rich man or woman. If you're 55 now, do you want to stand in my shoes? No, you don't. And you don't. Do you want to continue to make the money you make? Well, you better work till you drop. And you better hope they'll hire you until you drop. Because generally, in the job markets, you've got 15,000 others in line behind you. So they're going to, you're out. They get that 21-year-old, they don't have to pay as much. In most cases, they'll do, in my case, I dealt with this for 40 years off and on, which was the temporary hires. I love that line. So they didn't have to give you any benefits. You didn't have health insurance. You didn't have dental insurance. And you paid from your salary whatever agency got you the temporary job. Did you get to keep the job for 8 weeks or 4 days? You didn't know. You go into work and they tell you, here's the back door, get out. Well, I'm supposed to be here in January, so aren't you like, well, get out. Been there, I'm telling you. And I don't believe for a second that I'm the only one. I believe for a fact that there's thousands upon thousands of us out there. And I appeal to every one of you, jump in here, hit the comments, show me I'm not crazy. Please tell me that there's somebody besides me that has a problem with them taking any money, let alone money for a Medicaid or Medicare plan you didn't ask for. But if you have to have it, why isn't it coming out of the funds you've already paid all your life? Where did that shit go? Nobody's saying anything. I said the same thing when my husband got his. I was like, why are you paying it out of your retirement? It's supposed to have been paid for by Medicaid and Medicare, which you had taken from your check your whole life. Just go. All those billions of dollars. And we're not talking millions. We're talking billions of dollars. Help to build those tunnels in freaking Gaza. Oh, it's free Palestine. Well, go ahead on. Get them girls out of them burqas. You can just see their eyes. Little letterbox shit. Like they won't kill you on sight. You out there protesting, wearing their little flag. They kill you for that shit. Because you're not Palestinian and you don't need to hold their flag. It'd be an honor killing. You got hair that shows? Huh? You put on shorts? Honor killing. We saw our hair. We saw our legs. Why do you think these women are covered except for their eyes? Because they killed them. They can't even drive. They can't do anything. They have to listen. They have to be at home. They can have babies, and the husband will do the rest. If you're starving and the kids are starving, don't worry about that because the husband won't be. Because he's a terrorist. This stuff it's on the news. If you call them the news channels, what they are is really political news. But even they get every once in a while they'll throw something in there. I believe CBN is a better network, the Christian Broadcast Network. I like the IDF network, the Israeli Defense Force Network, for various reasons. We said never a fucking again. Excuse that one, because I really shouldn't talk that way about when I'm being religious, so to speak. But we said never again. Whatever. 6 million. 6 million. That's just Jews alone. We're not talking about how many other people's groups, gypsies, so forth and so on, they killed. Outright murdered. Same with any POWs. They didn't keep them. In some cases, they throw them in, with the general Jewish population in the crematoriums to wait their turn. Get a grip, folks. If you don't know this and you're 25, you weren't taught this, you need to use this shit to find out. There is no excuse at all. And I have heard calling reporters talking to people and asking them why they were going to basic war against their own country in favor of a Palestine free state, is what they're saying. They don't flap a no. They don't know where it is. They don't know why. All they say is everybody's killing them. No, they're not. If you look at the IDF, which is the Israeli Defense Forces, who you're actually speaking about, and know nothing, they're out there screaming October 7th should happen again and again. I would bitch slap them. Bring it. Come see me with that attitude. Please talk to me about that. Because you need an education and your parents should be ashamed, as well as tired of being broke, for sending you for an education you obviously never got. You don't have an education as high as a fifth graders. Because my granddaughter's a fifth grader. And she knows. Yet you jackasses are sitting on a university campus screwing it up, painting libraries and knocking out windows and general fuck it up. And that one I don't apologize for. Where the hell are the parents? The faculty's out there protesting too. I did see 3 resigned. Not enough. No. And they should have been jailed for various problems like traitor, which to me it falls under traitor. It used to be you couldn't desecrate our flag. And nowadays they buy them just for that. And everybody knows it when they sell the flag. Yeah, problem. Here's another one. Do that in front of me. I damn dare you. I don't care how old I am. I will get an equalizer. I will hire people. There are some things that you have to stand up for. Everybody has to say, this line here, don't step across that line. Somebody needs to draw that line in the sand, and nobody has. So they can take that how they want that too. I give a shit. Like I said, I don't make money from this. Not that I would be. I would not turn it down. But I don't make money doing this. What makes me go on every day? Idiocy at most parts, if you ask me. But mostly because I know there are others out here that can use this system to give themselves a voice. We all say we have freedom of speech. What freaking freedom of speech? Where the hell do you have freedom of speech? Are you just standing on a street corner talking? No, because nobody's got time for that shit except for Antifa, which pays the people to go out there and screw up college and university campuses. And this is known by the faculty. And I guess some parents know that their kids aren't worth shit. If I was paying for my son's school and he was acting like that, I'd beat the crap out of him and he wouldn't be going back to school. And I would expect a refund rapidly on what I had already paid. But I don't see no parents doing that. And the few parents that are saying something about their kids in middle school or high school, they're actually arrested. So at some point, if you do not stand up together, that's the world you're going to have. And it doesn't really affect me, guys. I'm 65 or will be next month, which means I probably don't have a lot of time left here, but I'm still fighting their ass. I don't give a shit. It's the principle of the matter. And it shouldn't be just me. It should be everybody that they're stealing from, that they have been stealing from, and they will continue to steal from unless you stand the hell up and say, I don't think so. Now, I'm going to be standing up tomorrow morning, Renee face down, I don't think so. They seem to have a lot of confusion as to why Illinois is suing me, basically. Me too. Because I, again, as an adopted girl, they changed that now, but I already saw it. I tried to get the birth certificate. That's when they changed where I was born. But I was born in DeKalb, Illinois. The birth certificate now reads Cook County. No, I wasn't born in Cook County. Neither me nor my sister. God rest her. Both my sister and my adopted brother have already crossed the bridge. And so I don't expect I'm going to be out here much longer. My husband has beaten stage 4 cancer. I've beaten 2 cancers. And you get tired. You get tired of filling it out. You get tired of seeing bills for $15,000 for chemotherapy, or $30,000 for chemotherapy, because Medicaid and Medicare are going to pay that mainly, and they can always go after whatever wages you have left. Besides the 2 death taxes, just so y'all know, look it up. You got an inheritance tax after those 2. So if your kids are inheriting your house or your car or whatever, Yeah, they got to pay 2 death taxes because you dead. They can't. I don't know how you supposed to do it. And then they got to pay an inheritance tax on whatever you left for them, which would be adjudicated by whoever wants to decide that that little $700 truck is now $10,000. And don't think they don't. Y'all know better. Mm. Well, I decided I wouldn't be up here much today. I have a lot of work to do. Yeah, I'm going to fight. I don't use Medicaid or Medicare, and if I did, it should come out of the monies that you've already taken from me for those two, whatever you want to call them. It's all theft. And for those of you who agree with me, like I said, you know, step forward. Say something in the comments if you get to see this, because I'm not expecting it to stay on the air long. You can't really usually talk about the government. They don't like that. And I don't like them. And I am government. I'm a veteran. As you notice, my health care is in the VA system and has been for 15 years. And I shouldn't get upset about these things because I'm just like a walking heart attack as it is. But at the same time, I don't take things laying down like that. It was bad enough they stole from me my whole life. And they weren't supposed to. They weren't allowed to. It's actually in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Read them. At least the Bill of Rights. Nobody even knows what the Fourth Amendment is. You can tell I'm using the Fourth Amendment. You know, I love the cops when you say that to them. They don't have a clue. They're getting better. They're actually teaching that now in their training. So they will understand we're using Amendment 4. Our Bill of Rights for, or whatever section you're using. Most people, including the people who are coming out of these Ivy League, universities, do not know what the Bill of Rights are, don't know what's contained in them. They know that they have freedom of speech. I don't see freedom of speech. I don't see freedom. Freedom maybe for the immigrants who come because they take care of them. They give them a phone, they give them food, they give them housing, even if it's a hotel that they trash. I also watched the thing on New York City. Even Texas keeps sending them over to New York. It's funny, but it's not. They kept raiding these smash and grab stores. So all the top brands, name stores have moved out of New York City. They had a Target and they had a Sam's Club, or, well, one of them. I think it's Costco. In any event, they kept doing this to Target so much, and they had everything wired. You had to undo it. And, oh my God, it had to be a nightmare to go in and out. They closed, at least those sections of New York. They no longer have Walgreens. They don't have Target. They have Costco. They've been smashing and running through Costco. They go in with these big bags and they grab everything. Nobody's trying to stop them because even if you arrest these people, you put them in the system kicks them out as a misdemeanor. So they don't even have to do bail. There's no bail in New York. So they know that's going to happen to them. They're going to have a couple of hours maybe where they go through the system within their cars. So the cops don't want to bother. You can't blame them. Why get shot when they're going to call it a misdemeanor? I mentioned the cops are jumping ship like crazy in New York. There's probably 4 a man in the throes. And they told them this about 2 years ago, right at the end of the pandemic. Don't expect us to respond unless it's a murder. And even then, it's going to take 3 or 4 hours. I feel so bad for that state and the people in it. I mean, they're paying $18,000 a month for a closet. Is this? These people who smash and grab are sitting on your sidewalks with their tents, defecating in public while selling you sheets from Target that they got on their smash and grab. These sidewalks sales, and people are buying them. But they're all going, well, where were we? What? Yeah, where are you going to shop next week, man? Who's got that job still so you can afford to shop next week? Who's got that job so they can pay for that $18,000 closet you call a home? Nobody. And it's mainly immigrants, if you look. And they're out there selling what they just stole. And people are freaking stupid enough to buy it. I don't know. I think Costco may close they say maybe this week. They don't know. And they're trying hard. Costco's trying to stay there. I wouldn't have even opened there. And it's just not just New York's really bad about it. Texas and Florida, they don't do that shit. I wonder why. Could be the prosecution put your ass in prison. They don't go to jail. They go to freaking prison where they belong. How many women have to be raped and murdered by these immigrants before you guys start going, well, maybe we should know who they are? Why the hell wasn't there a system set up? You can let all these freaking people in. Why the hell wasn't there a system to fingerprint them, take their iris, and give them a goddamn ID card? You got to do that just to go into freaking Sam's Club. I mean, literally, when you go in the door, you got to show who you are. And you got to have a card to get in. But not these 6 million people. So we don't know who they are. We don't know where they are. And we don't know what they're going to do. But they had every opportunity to at least print and so forth and give these people. It couldn't have been more money than paying for a hotel for 8 months or whatever to put these machines in like the DMV has, and you just stand there, bring out 10 minutes, you out, and you have an ID. If you lose it, fine. We got you in the system. Everything is connected in the system. I love these stops, and I'm going to say it, and I'll probably take it down for that reason too. But I've been watching these things, and they're stopping people. They're getting out and they're going up to them, and they're doing all this, and they're telling them they got to get out of the car, and they're freaking out because they see people get killed when they got out of the car. So they're jerked out of the car, thrown to the ground. One woman was thrown to the ground, and they held her down in a fire anthill. You should have seen this woman's face in front of her 3 children who were screaming, "You're killing our mother." And you could hear this. This is on their own freaking body cam. So the cops, nobody wants to call them. This is why. Because of those things. It's just, if they stop you, nobody wants to get out because it's going to be a bad thing most of the time. If they can't find a reason for stopping you, they make up 3 and put it on a ticket. And most people will just pay the ticket. So nobody wants to go with the police anymore. I used to go up to them, walk home with them. I mean, and now everybody's afraid of them because they'll shoot you if you don't get out of the car, like they said, and quick enough, especially for a female. Not so many on the men, unless they have backup. But for the females, and they don't, I agree with them. I wouldn't get out of the car either. And they're on 911 screaming for help because they're scared stupid. They got their kids in the car and they're being held down in the fire anthill. Look that up, folks. I mean, you can't make up shit like that. Who the hell? I mean, what kind of a person is so callous that they hold a mother of 3 in a fire anthill with her face and their foot on her head while she's begging them to please let her move? It's a scary flipping world out there, guys. I thought it was scary and I enlisted. Now that 40 years or so ago. Served my country, I think, fairly well. I went out to work as well in the civilian sector, serving my country as well. And all the time, I knew the government was screwing me running. And I attributed that to, well, we'll get an election, there will be better people. There was never any better people put in there. The only presidents that did any good and were good presidents, they shot and killed most of them. Shot Reagan, he lived. Trump might as well have shot him because they got him dead to rights, and as I say, in court. When he went to court, I think it was New York, they found him guilty on 34 counts of something. I don't know what the 34 counts are, but how could you find somebody guilty without a shadow of a doubt on 34 counts? It had to be one. You had to leave the question a little bit. No, all 34 counts they found him guilty on. So they wanted him to be guilty. They were selected because they hated him, the whole jury. So that's what he's facing. Not only did they sue a former president for God knows everything in God, as I said, and he was to stand reliably for $350 million, which they wanted to take immediately. They might give it back if he wasn't found guilty. He actually had to put up a bond for that amount, which would make him a pauper, which is what they wanted. They wanted they wanted Mar-a-Lago in particular. So yeah, they wanted to tie him up, take his money, and that's what they're doing. I mean, they're doing a good job at that. In Georgia, not so much because Georgia's crooked as fuck. I'm sorry, but I've been here in and out for 30 years or more, and it's always been crooked. Always been crooked. I saw more I got older and uglier about it because, again, it's the state. I met the governor of the state, the second governor of the state. I met almost all the governors until recently. I knew. My husband knew, worked for them. There's nothing good to say about them. There really isn't. I'd like to, but there isn't anything good you can say about them. I see I was fighting the TV for sound. I actually had it on Tornado Alley and was trying to figure out what's going on. Trying to get my mind off the fact that I'd like to shoot some people. This is why people get shot. This is why people get shot. They jerk women and men out of cars for no reason, then they make up a reason. And it's on their freaking body cams. One of them actually, his body camera showed him stopping a couple, and they were harassing this particular couple. I don't know why, but there were two patrol officers who were doing this. And every other minute they saw him, they stopped him. And one stop they made, the husband's wallet was in the bag of groceries they had just carried out when the police swarmed him and threw him to the ground, literally, and handcuffed him. And, did the walk like this with him. And if you've never had your hands behind your back and your arms pulled up and somebody pushing you, it's excruciating. And sometimes tears the rotor cuff at the very least. It's excruciating pain. And they know that too. And they're not guilty of anything. But this cop actually reached in, found the man's wallet, took the man's wallet. And this was all the money they had for the month. I don't know. Maybe they had just cashed a check. I don't know. But it was all they had for the month. And that man opened that wallet and took it. And so they knew that this was in their groceries, and they asked for the wallet. And they instead sent him off to jail. Groceries in the car. Took their money on their own body cam. I would thank God for that. There are attorneys that are available, in particular in some states, that will pursue the matter of like this harassment of this couple. And they weren't young, and both of them worked extremely hard. Usually had two jobs for each of them, in particular when their money was stolen by the same police that was now putting them in jail. You had to bail out, you had to get your car out, and still they kept begging for the wallet back. Oh, we don't know what happened to that. We didn't see anything. And so he replaces his IDs, and they go on, and they manage to get enough money to get by that month. And they're stopped again, and they're stopped again, and they're stopped again every time they go up. So this attorney was on a ride along with them, and they're filming. And sure enough, she sees the officer turning a corner in the residential area, which was where she nearly lived there. And she said, he's going to turn around and come back at me. You watch. And that man did. He turned that patrol around and come right at her. And they filmed everything. That time they let them go because they knew they weren't filmed. They were told, we're filming this. It's harassment. And I'm the attorney, such and such. And pissed them off. And they tried to find stuff. They, trashed the car. Probable cause. I don't know what the probable cause is, but if they want to search your damn car, they come up with something. And for what I believe, and I know they do, they'll throw shit in your car and then say, we found your shit. So these are the things we're dealing with, people. And none of us are really in government anymore, except for those who are stealing from the government in their 80s. It shouldn't be allowed. You shouldn't be allowed to run for president after the age of 50. Even at 50, I think that's too much, but I would put the age at 50 for all of them. And I would make it illegal to donate funds at all to these people. Really? You think they're using your funds? What for? Do you think they should actually make $1.5 million commercial to show they're running while they're lying their ass off for a second term? Idiots. Just plain idiots. All of you people out there with millions of dollars, you got too damn much money because you don't know what the hell you're doing if you're doing that kind of shit. There's a lot of more things that you can do with $1 million, like get the homeless vets off the street. You're going to make $20 million from people, and people are going to send it to your ass. How do they do that? I can't begin to believe that there's 10 million people that are stupid enough to go, okay, here's my gift to you. Spend it how you want. I'm going to walk past that veteran who's homeless on the corner of 5th and Avenue. We aren't that stupid. So where's this money coming from? It's not us. I don't believe it's us. I'm never going to believe that. No. Mm-mm. Our news has been hijacked. Our systems for government have been hijacked for decades. Their form of theft on every person has become so egregious that you can't ignore it anymore because you'll stand in my shoes. If you're 20 now, you will be 65. If you're 70, then you should have been having a problem well before this because we have the medium to stand here and say, come talk to me. Let's find out why the government has been stealing from us for 50 odd years at the very least. And will continue to steal from our children, from our grandchildren, and their children. The system is so rigged. It is the biggest Ponzi scheme there is on this planet. There is no other country with a Ponzi scheme as big and dirty as ours. They call it the United States for a reason, folks. Look up the Civil War. That's when the United States came into being and America was checked out. So, yeah, your Declaration of Independence has been burned. Your Constitution has been burned. And they waved it in your face while they did it. So nobody has a problem. Everybody's scared of the government. Well, shit, yeah. You militarized the IRS. Even President Eisenhower, who didn't run again because he knew it was all coming, he said, beware of just that. And it's a complete. It's like watching a bad movie about how they're going to get rid of an entire segment of the population, those that are over the age of 60, except for the politicians who need to be there at least until they're 90. They don't do nothing. All they do is sign off, say, yeah, you can fuck them running some more. I dare you to. I dare you. Leave this up here. Let's see if you guys really believe in freedom of speech. No, I'm not on a corner. I'm not on a college campus. Don't intend to be. Would slap the shit out of him if I saw him. But let's see. Do are all of the people scared stupid? Really? I can't believe that either. And yeah, I get it. There wouldn't be many anyway, that would be watching me at this hour. They would be at work, at school, and so forth. But I leave it up there. So if you see me, it's Lady Hippy at the bar. The description is anything. And I do mean anything. I don't care if we're talking about Casper the Friendly Ghost or the fact that the government screwed us all for the last 70 years. Pick one. There's something to be said about all of that. And I don't know how much longer we're going to have this medium to do so. And so I'm going to get up here every day. I'm going to talk your ass off. I'm going to tell you, please like my channel. Please comment, subscribe, tickle that bell, folks, and share. See how many others are out there. They're out there. I need you to be in here. I need you to come forward and say, no, this is wrong. And they've been doing it to me for 10 years. Or, oh my God, I'm going to be that age next year. What do I do? Let's find out. Because it's illegal as shit. They are never to tax your wages. I had a friend that I worked with, a colleague at Bluebird, and he had sued. He was an attorney, and he had sued for his mother, his brother, and himself. None of them paid any taxes on their income. It's illegal. And it's in the Bill of Rights. It's in the Bill of Rights. And everybody, you don't have to go to the library, get in the car catalog, find 4 books that have sections of it. No. You just have to Google it or Bing it, whatever search engine you're using, and use it. Get up here. Do your own podcast. It's free. You won't make any money. You'll be like me. I don't know if you want to be like me, but you can be heard. And it helps to get it off my chest, in particular, going, okay, I did see everybody out there today. I would say friends and family, but the only family I have is my son and my grandchildren. Well, I have children and grandchildren. I just don't see them very often. They're great people, but I don't see them very often. I don't see my own. He's an exit away, and my grandson's the other direction. It's about 2 miles. But you can't be in their face. And everybody loves Raymond. My kids would like, you got to go. Keep the cake. You got to get out. I see them like for high holidays, like church. I don't even do that anymore. There's another good. I should put that on for a podcast. When I see I've been up here long enough to chew everybody's ear off. I'm hoping that I will actually see people jump on the bandwagon. If not, I'm going to keep doing it. It doesn't matter to me if you jump on or not. What matters is that we all take back our lives and we say, okay, your Ponzi schemes have been floating for decades. Get off. Don't touch my money. Still keep it in plan, okay, we'll take this much. You can keep your Social Security. But if you're going to take Medicaid and Medicare, you better be taking it from the ones you've already taken it from. You don't get to come after my Social Security as well. Medicaid and Medicare are completely different items, and they're two completely different ripoffs. Two more Ponzi schemes. And you don't have to pay taxes. Look at that. Oh my. And God knows who this is. Yeah, that would be my husband. He knows I'm on a broadcast right now. So before I get stupid, go for it.